Hello, my name is Vivian Oliver-Hernandez. I am your Wunsche digital learning coach, literacy, and in this tip of the week, I'm focusing on the top 5 tips when it comes to creating drag and drop activities in Google Slides. I think Google Slide drag and drop activities are amazing. They're a great resource, but sometimes we want to create our own. So what I have done is listed off the top 5 reasons of what you should do as you're thinking about creating those drag and drops. I'll make sure in this video to highlight on each one and my reasoning behind it. And then, hopefully let's go ahead and let's start. So the first thing I'm going to focus on is tip 1 and tip 4. They do go together, 1 and 4, so I want to show you in collaboration what that means. So first it says use an image as a background for key information, and you can change the size panel. So if I open up a brand new Google slide, by default, I have this size. But if I want to change the panel, meaning I want it to be like a worksheet size, you can do that. The best thing to do is go to File, go to Page Setup, click the drop down and click Custom. Page is usually 8.5 by 11 inches. Apply. So that flipped it, which is great. Then I can go ahead and get rid of my space or change the layout. I'm leaving these here for right now. I'm going to put it in the white space to get rid of it in this section. But then what I can do is I can go ahead and go to background, choose image. And what I did was I changed one of my worksheets to be an image. So the reason I did that, I changed a worksheet into an image, was that way I can easily upload it. Done. And that helps, that makes it the background. So essentially, if a student tries to move anything, or if they just are clumsy and accidentally they keep moving certain objects or key information that you don't want them to move, that is the trick. Use an image and upload it into the background. Or you can also, if you go to View, Theme Builder, you can upload it as a layout. So if you want that forever, like it's a template of a certain document that you're going to keep using over and over again, maybe it's a journal, what you can do is just apply it to your theme builder by doing a new layout. I'm going to get rid of this extra thing. I'm going to change this background to be that template because we're going to keep using it, or if we were going to keep using it. Click open. It's going to apply it as the background. And then what that does, and I can always rename it if I need to rename it. And what that does now is whenever, so I'm going to close it, whenever I add a new slide, if I'm going to continue to ask the students, or if I'm going to continue to use that template, now what happens is when I add a new slide, it does this, but I can right click and change it to apply layout, and you should see at the bottom your new template. So that's how you can add it to your theme builder, so you don't have to keep uploading and changing the background. All you have to do is apply the correct layout. So that one was going back to the top tips. I covered tip 1, tip 4, and tip 3. They all go together, but they're very, very handy when it comes to avoiding student mistakes. Another thing about drag and drop activities is they mainly use, if it's not already in the image that you uploaded, they mainly use text boxes or shapes. So one reason it may be a text box is, let me go back to those keywords. There may be text boxes to go ahead and have like a drag and drop of the text box. So to do that, you go to Insert Text Box, draw the text box, type in the vocabulary word. For the text box, if you want it to stand out more, if you want the word to stand out more, you can always change the font, change the size, etc. Depending on how you would like that. You can change the border of the text box. You could change the color of the border of the text box if you want it to stand out more. So now when your students have their own copies, all they need to do is just click on the text box and then drop it into where it needs to be. Another thing that's used if it's not text box is I'm going to go to insert. They're the shapes. So a lot of people will end up using shapes as well for these drag and drop activities. Same thing, you create the shape by dragging and dropping your mouse after you pick it. Pick or type the vocab word. You could change the text itself, make it stand out more, or you could change the box itself depending on what you would like to do to have it stand out for your students or for yourself. And then you just instruct your students to click on it, then drag and drop it where it needs to go. So this is just an example of an activity. I'm going to show you some examples of teacher ones made. So here's an example of some ones that are used actually here at Wunsche High School. This is an example of a teacher one where the students have to insert the box over. So drag and drop to the correct answer. What is the cause? What is the effects according to the content area? You can put your boxes on the slide, or I put as a tip, and it's tip number 5, use the outside white space. If you need more room on your slide, it is okay to drop the things you want them to match here into that outside space, so it leaves more room for instructions or the activity inside. Now, what you need to know is, does this copy over or does it just copy the slide? It will copy over, and I'll show you an example. If I go to a file, make a copy, and I just do that slide, it will generate that slide copy with the outside boxes. That outside. Here you go. So if that's a concern, just know it does work. It'll keep that effect for your students. Going into the last tip that I had when it comes to drag and drop activities, it is very beneficial to show your students how to hide these panels, both on the left-hand side, right-hand, just so they have more room. Sometimes they feel overwhelmed by all the panels, so I'm going to show you real quick how to get rid of all of them. The easiest way is to go to View. Right now they're all checked, so uncheck them. Uncheck Show Speaker Notes, go to View, uncheck Show Film Strip, go to View, uncheck Show Comments. Then right here on the right, in the bottom right-hand corner, you can hide that side panel that's on the right in the bottom right-hand corner. And then up at the top, in the top left-hand corner, right below your profile picture within Google Slide, you can hide that menu. And there you go. This now has created more room for your student to do that drag and drop activity, and now they have more space to actually work. So definitely something to share with them as they are working on your activity. Another thing to note, you can also use drag and drop activities and then to bring it back, you simply just click on it. You can also use them for diagrams. So if you're trying to get your students to label or match anything, just remember you can use it as a labeling drag and drop activity as well. It doesn't always have to just be the other examples I've shown you. So before I end this video, one more thing I do want to mention that isn't listed, but it is good to note, is that if you ever do a drag and drop activity, you have to make sure that whatever you want to go in front of something else is positioned to go in front. As you can see, for example, ideally, I would want this answer choice to go above the yellow, but it doesn't. So I would want it to do this. You see how this one goes over it? But if it doesn't do that, how do you fix it? Well, what you're going to do is you're going to fix the option. So over whatever you want to layer over, the simplest way is to right click over it, click on order, and then you usually get 4 options. If it's in the very back, then it will be grayed out, or if it's in the very front, it will be grayed out. Either way, if you want to bring it forward or bring it to the front, bringing forward means just one layer, but bringing to the front, so order, means it comes completely to the front. And now you have that effect where if you drag it over something, it'll go in front. Same thing if you do order, bring it, send it to the back, it'll send it completely back, except. So I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I love creating these type of activities, and again, just be creative. If I can be of a resource, email me or call me and we can schedule out some time to go ahead and collaborate. I hope you have a wonderful, great weekend, day, holiday, whenever and wherever you're watching this. And yeah, bye.